Oi, that's not a Walkman. You're right, mate, it's not. It's even better. It's the Walkman's dad. If it's not a Walkman, then what is it? Well, it's a Sony TC-D5 field recorder, and it came out the year before the Walkman. Although Sony been making cassette recorder stuff since like the 60s, some of their gear went up into space with the Apollo missions. At this point, Sony had plenty of experience with cassettes. Fun thing about cassettes is they never actually thought it'd be good for music. They thought it'd just be for dictation. In other words, speaking stuff, office crap, which is actually one of the most important things of this device. As I said, it's a field recorder, so whoa, look at those VU meters. Doesn't this look amazing already? And you ready for this? Twin XLR ins, left and right. You can have an interview with someone, right? Because then you just like mix the two into mono. You can each have a microphone and record proper conversations and line out. You can send it wherever you need to go. Gigantic headphone jack that does monitoring, so while you're recording, while you're listening to stuff, you can hear what you're recording. Captain Servo Control Stereo Cassette Recorder. That's a big deal because there's something called wow and flutter with these old cassette monsters. It's kind of like it wobbles as it speeds up and slows down, like woo. Imagine DJ scratching, but less sick. This thing is full of incredible guts and engineering to make sure that the speed doesn't change, because you see these little posts here? That's actually a strap. Put it in this incredible cover. I do have the shoulder strap somewhere. I took it off and put it somewhere because I don't use it on my shoulder. But full-blown XLRs, the Shure SM58 microphone had been invented for like 10 years at this point. You're out on the field, popping your cassette in. Mr. President, what are you gonna do about the sausage roll shortage? And all this jostling and kicking would mess up your recording. It's so you can get really, really good recordings while you're out in the field doing stuff. So this is leaving crumbs. Oh, crap. Story goes, this was a favorite for bootleggers at live concerts because bring a couple of mics, have this in your strap underneath your jacket, and you just record the whole show in stunning clarity. Like, these were not cheap. These were very high-end piece of equipment. The whole thing is metal. It weighs a ton, and she's rocking double Ds. Made in Japan. That's how you know this is old school. This was not a toy. As story goes, a lot of Sony executive high-ups were using these while they were flying about jet set style. I mean, you know, Sony makes the whole gamut of stuff. Like, they got the headphones, microphones, recorders, right? And so you can just deck yourself out with this, professional headphones, all the double D bats that you could ever want. And that they were using these on flights because they're just stunning playback devices. Not only can it record properly, it outputs properly. You want to make sure that interview with the president about the sausage roll shortage was mint, because you're going to sell it to all the newspapers. I'd love to know what mine was used for. It keeps going. Look at this. Dolby NR. We've all seen that Dolby logo all over stuff, and that has proper history. Keeping down hiss and noise with these old recordings was like a real sticking point, and like super layman. So the way it kind of works is that when you record to it, it'll boost the high frequencies when recording, and when playing it back, it'll squash it down and it will get rid of all the high-end hiss and stuff with it. It's very clever. And this thing supported Dolby, which is nuts. And look at this, type 1, 2, and 3. Look, it's a brand new cassette. Like, I'm not messing around, man. I want to try and get the best out of this thing. Good quality sound under all situations. That's nice that they're finally being honest. Good quality. Although then it says brilliant cassette. Normal position, type 1. Type 1 is the most dog eggs one. These are the cheapest ones. They're ferrite tapes, like... I love that eject. Look, so simple. It's like this little karate leg that kicks out. Yeah, ferrite tapes have always got this brown look to them, whereas the high-end stuff are called metal tapes. If you ever seen old cassettes back in the day, and they're really expensive ones, those were probably metal tapes. Yeah, I don't have any. I do have plenty of albums, which is fun considering that cassette was never meant to support like full music and whatnot. Show you how in the hole we are with like music and whatnot. Like, this is the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour on cassette, and it's already been digitally remastered. It's already been messed with at this point. So as I said, the Sony execs were using these. They were just bringing them along with them because it was just an amazing way to listen to cassettes, you know, even when it's like bumping and jostling a little bit. And story goes, Sony execs just, you know, walked in with this and went, can you just make just the tape player bit? You know, like, you don't need VU meters. You don't need separate control for left and right. We don't need XLR. We don't need any of this stuff. What if it was just the music bit? and the Walkman was born. That said, they made these forever. I think like 2004 was when it wrapped up, something like that, like 20-something years. Who could blame them? It is gorgeous, and like, yeah, to hold, it's epic. Well, because it's actually got proper inputs, you can get left and right XLR, 2 headphone jack, and then afterwards we can go line out into the desk and we can all have a listen together. Like, does it record properly and how does it play? It's not good. It's not good. Damn it. I swear, playback of actual music cassettes sounds so much better. It's not perfect. There's still a few wobbly, funny bits in there. And then I also have to question the tapes at that point because these are ancient. You know, who knows what they've been through, you know, like pinched through someone's like cassette deck in their car or something. But the record head on this thing is clearly not good. I used a brand new cassette for this. Brand spanking new. And my Fio M7, like a really high-end thing. All the proper cables, and that's what it gave me. Well, I mean, maybe the recordings out of the microphone will be good.
So, mate, this one time I could see like the electric car revolution happening before me very eyes, but I've only got no money and someone else's roller door motor and someone else's Ford Falcon. And so, like, we literally just, like, welded the electric motor straight to the diff of the car, mate. But, like, you can't travel unless you've got it plugged into the wall. It's, like, a really bad, like, electric car design, mate. But, like, this is literally something we actually did, and you can actually watch the video of it, mate, and I deem it a total success. Mr. President, what are you going to do about the sausage roll shortage? Mr. President, no, don't ignore me. No, get your hands off me.
I mean, I've had this for like 5 years or something. I thought I had someone look at it. I might be thinking of another deck, but this was my cassette deck. I was happily using it to listen to. I don't care if it's a little soft and fluffy and kind of crackles here and there, because I'm nostalgic to that. My first portable music thing was a cassette deck, a tiny one. I used to play along to drums with it. It was the best. And I used to record off the radio. You want to talk about soft and fluffy sounding. And so it's fun actually having, you know, these albums I can get in lossless, crazy format and put my Empyreans on through a hi-fi deck and just listen to it like in the purest form. But gosh, there's something so humble about smashing it through a cassette. I do want to have versions of like Scarlet Fire and whatnot that are recorded properly onto a cassette, but I'd like to get a really nice cassette deck to do it, which I have done, and I'm working on actually I'm on the cusp of it. But yeah, this thing reminds me so much of like old cars, which I know a lot about because I've got a car channel called Garbage Time, and all those monsters are mine. And it's like, you know, do you get the new thing which is made out of paper and isn't designed to last at all and doesn't do anything ever amazing? Or do you get the old thing that was like epic, but now it's a decrepit skeleton that you got to try and get back into condition and going? I'd rather get the old thing and fix it up than like a lot of new stuff, and this clearly needs a humongous going through. You're all probably saying, well, take it to James. James could do it. No, actually, I need to ask James's James. Yes, James has a James. But I love seeing professional equipment trickling down to consumer stuff and then changing the world. And my goodness, did people have to go to great lengths just to have portable music, even in crappy quality? Like, we are so spoiled now. And now I'm sounding like the old man yelling at clouds. I'm upset. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Huge thanks to these names right here. These are my biggest float planners. You guys are the best. It's why there's no sponsors. I'd rather just make more content for you folks. $1 a month memberships. I've been trying snacks. Chinese Pepsi with peach in it. Peach Chinese Pepsi, and I've got so much weird snacks to look at, stuff from like Serbia and Croatia. So $1 a month, you can get that. If you hop on a float plane, you get absolutely everything. And as always, mate, I'll see you all next time.
I want to pet that dog. I'm gonna pet that dog. Currently petting that dog. No, I'm serious. Right, like she doesn't care. I'm patting that dog.